Hey everyone, went outdoors. I just thought I'd share this with you guys. It involves shot placement and tracking and retrieval of a deer. Tim, my brother-in-law, shot one last week. It was about 7 in the morning. He texted me at 7:15. I called him a few minutes later. He thought the shot was good. The deer ran off. You could see blood on the side of the deer where he hit, where he wanted to hit. Went maybe 100 yards. And then he didn't see it leave this thick patch. He was confident that this deer was double-lunged and went the 100 yards and expired. So he got down, found blood about 7:30 and backed out. Went home, got his four-wheeler, got his buddy, returned probably close to 2 hours later. Went in after the deer, followed the blood, no problem, and they got to right where they last seen the deer disappear, and they ended up jumping it. And it ran back up towards the road, so they backed out, but they had to go towards the road to get out of there. Was about ready to cross the creek where the bridge is there, and found a giant pile of blood where it was about to cross the creek. Didn't cross the creek. Followed along the creek a little bit, so they figured it kind of made a circle and was bedded back in the cattails, kind of near where we shot it. So they backed out of there, decided to give it as long as we could the rest of the day because they weren't sure where it was hit. He thought he had a good hit, but now he's second guessing himself, thinking it must not have been if this is 2 hours later and the deer is still not dead. So he got a hold of me in the afternoon. I met him at his house. Then we made our way back over there. We decided like 3:30 we would go in. It was supposed to rain that night, and that would still give us a good hour and a half to try and retrieve the deer, and also before it rained. And that was about 8 hours of letting this deer, from the time he shot it to the time we were going back in, was going to be about 8 hours.
If you like gut shoot them, you should wait almost like 24 hours or something.
Yeah, they say 12 to 24.
It definitely wasn't
I don't
gut
think
shot.
this is gut shot.
No.
You hit something anywhere in the lung, it should freaking die, right?
Yeah, it's gonna die for sure. Oh yeah.
It was gonna cross.
And nothing over there.
Let me think about this one.
He crossed, I bet.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. And I think I see a drop right there on that. It's definitely right up to the edge here.
Yeah.
It's right up to the edge, so.
First one.
Let's just try.
Here's some here.
We did not see this before.
Huh, look at it spraying.
Look at all that.
Oh, what the?
This was not here this
We
morning.
walked right past this.
We would have thought something of this one. Well,
You would think, but he didn't lay down anywhere, it looked like.
no. We walked right through here.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
we just thought, oh, that's
And
nothing.
you walked on this side.
Well, somewhere I crossed.
I mean,
it
it's
over.
bleeding good to show up like this. So you can see it. Maybe he's in that ditch or grass or something, but any further. Really good. Yeah.
Good enough.
I mean, to be splattering on the.
Look at that.
Yeah.
If he got in that grass, he definitely laid down.
I would think, right? As soon as he got
Right.
comfortable.
Got some right back here. Even if he ain't dead, right?
I think he'd be laying right here, at the edge of the woods. I don't know if he'd go in.
I don't think so.
He's right here.
Are you kidding me? Nice job. Right where he said he was gonna be. He didn't want to go in the woods.
That's where it came out, huh?
This is a good size.
Yeah.
A little deer, but
He's got a good body
Yeah.
though.
whatever.
Oh, thank God.
I thought for sure he ended up inside
He just bounded off the trail.
Yeah, he probably did his death jump.
Yeah.
And then...
I do have pictures of this deer.
He's broken up. His G2s are broke off a while ago. Yeah.
That was a good shot.
Yeah.
But I think with the angle of it.
Maybe it's a little back. I mean, it's still long.
Yeah.
Right? I felt like when I pulled the trigger, it was a good shot. I bet you it clipped one lung.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking get both because of the angle. You almost have to shoot them just a hair high when you're up like that.
Yeah. For that, just the anticipation of the drop.
Yeah.
Well, even just because of the arrows
sharp.
going down.
Yeah.
Where did it come out? Down further? Oh, wait. Yeah.
How did he go this far?
I don't know. It just shows that I think you hit both lungs.
How could he have gone
If you
this
went in
far?
there.
I don't know.
Is
A
he an
9
ape?
pointer.
Tough son of a.
Oh man, look at that. That's a good shot.
I know. That's where we want to hit him.
I just don't get it.
If I knew that I hit him like that, I would have never thought he'd go that far.
Right.
Probably leave him this way, huh?
Yeah.
When they're not super wide, you don't put them the other way.
That just shows you, yeah.
Shows you how tough they freaking are.
There. So just to recap, shot the deer, went maybe 100 yards, laid down, went in 2 hours later, jumped the deer, had really good blood, the entire blood trail for, I bet it went 500 to 600 yards for sure, across the street, into the neighbors. Tracked it 8 hours later, 8 hours from the time he shot it, and found the deer dead, but we don't think it was dead that long. I mean, it was probably hours, but because it was still very warm inside and it wasn't stiff or nothing, so it wasn't like it died immediately after they jumped it, and then 6 hours later we found it. It laid there for a while and died within hours of when we found it. So before I dive into what we found when we field dressed it, I would really want to hear your comments on situations like this, what you guys have seen, what we maybe did right or wrong, or just your experiences on this, because I've tracked hundreds of deer and I've never had one like this before where we thought we hit it, when we went in to get the deer, etc., and what the outcome was after we field dressed it. So to save you the gory details and video of actually field dressing it, and because our hands were messy and I was in there digging around because I just had to know exactly what happened on this. Tim, when he initially was in the deer, it was very, very warm yet, so we're speculating that it didn't die that long ago. So after he got into the cavity, we initially saw corn and stomach matter. So we know the arrow nicked the stomach. So once he reached up very carefully, we were trying to do this very carefully so we can literally see where the arrow penetrated without knife nicks and cuts, but cut out all the organs, we pulled them all out. So here I am digging around in there, laying it all out nice, and there was a broadhead mark through one lung, through the liver, through the other lung. And it also nicked the stomach to open the contents of the stomach. It was possibly slightly high on the entrance. As you see in the videos, you can see right that spot, but it was definitely in the lung rib area. And with that steeper angle of a shot, we figured it would for sure come out lower on the other side. So if you miss the lung on this side, but essentially the lungs take up the entire cavity the way it is anyways, and they actually go up to the spine. So anywhere you hit in that rib cage is going to hit lung. So we were surprised at how far this deer went, being double lunged, liver and stomach. So it had to be bleeding inside. There was blood everywhere, the blood trail, and it ended up going quite a long ways. So, but at the end of the day, we got the deer. The meat was not spoiled. Everything was good. Everything worked out great. It just was kind of puzzling how it ended up. We did not expect us to be tracking the deer that long, that far, when it looked like a good shot, and then come to find out it was a pretty good shot. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better shot for myself. I mean, it was right where he put it, right where he wanted to put it, and went through both lungs. So I don't know. It's puzzling. These whitetails can drive you crazy. So, but what I learned from this situation is that if you do not see the deer fall in front of you and die, then give it more time than you think. If it looks like a good shot and it says double lunged and the deer disappears within 100 yards, 200 yards, they say an hour, 2 hours, give it more time. If you have the weather is cooperating with you, if you have all day to do it or all night and you don't think coyotes are going to get at it or the meat's going to spoil, let it sit. I think that's the best thing you can do. I mean, like I said, you can come and get the deer. Everybody wants to rush in there and look for the arrow, look for the blood, and end up pushing it. But I think the best thing you can do is have patience. Let that deer fully die. We got lucky on this one where it was bleeding good enough where we had no problems following it, but that could have went wrong really bad. And then I know they have really good dog services out there now to come in and find this deer, but I don't know how that works if you're going to have a torrential downpour rain that night or whatever. You got private lands that people don't want you to go on, etc. So I think the best thing is just to let that deer lay out there, let him bleed out, let him die, and then you can move in hours later and find him. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, and maybe you learned something from it. I know I did. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you had any similar experiences like that, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.